Scorpio, welcome to your weekly tarot reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising positions for the week ahead. Keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so make sure to have a look at your other placements so you can get a more complete picture. And if you've been interested or wanting a personal reading, have a look at the description below because I am offering a special for the rest of the summer. Okay, let's get started here for Scorpio. Let's see what messages we have. What is the current energy around Scorpio for the week ahead? Okay, look at that. 8 of Cups and the Fool. You know, it's been an interesting theme in a lot of the readings I've been doing lately where it feels like everyone is moving on from something and beginning something new. And that's exactly what these two cards are saying to me right now, that Scorpio, it's time for you to sort of move away from an emotional connection that you may have that no longer serves you. Even if you're not sure where this path is going to lead you, it's leading you to a new beginning. See the Fool here, card 0. So really moving in a new direction here, Scorpio, away from those 8 cups. Those cups no longer have anything that serves you, you know? They're not for you anymore. And it feels like you're ready to move on. And, you know, seeing both of these cards upright tells me that you're ready for this. You know, it feels like it's been an emotionally draining experience for Scorpio recently, and that you're ready to move on from this. Let's see what the obstacles are. What will challenge Scorpio as they move away? Oh, the idea that things could get better. Isn't that interesting, Scorpio? Look at that. The 8 to the 9 in a very well shuffled deck. It's almost like the obstacle is this idea of what if? Well, what if this does work out and I walk away? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I feel for some of you, you know, you're ready to walk away, but the challenge for you is that looming what if. Well, what if it does work out? What if my greatest happiness is just working on this more? You know, it's interesting to think about, but seeing that Fool tells me you're ready for a new beginning. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what if the new beginning is just working on this situation more? And that may be exactly what your frame of mind is listening to this reading, because that obstacle could feel very real right now. Let's keep going and get an idea as to whether or not that obstacle is fear or really thinking that things could turn around. I am seeing the Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So that does make me feel like if this is an emotional connection, that perhaps there is a renewal, or perhaps there are new relationships to explore. Let's see what's top of mind here for Scorpio. 7 of Cups. So you're feeling blocked by fear. You know, I just asked the question, and this card suggests that you're feeling blocked by fear. Do you see here? You have the 7, the 8, and the 9 of Cups. Scorpio, this is a very intense emotional situation, and I think fear has you blocked from even thinking that there could be another way to look at this, and that perhaps moving on is one of these options, but it's also blocked by fear. Very interesting, my friends. Look at the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands now, but it's in reverse, which is a sign of sort of feeling pessimistic about something, or not feeling like something will sort of move forward out of the gate. You know, there's a hesitation when this wand is in reverse, and almost this doubt is the feeling, you know. Very interesting. Let's see what's at the root of this. What's at the root of this? What's driving this reading? The King of Pentacles in reverse, and I felt like the Emperor in reverse. I felt these two cards wanted to come out. Very interesting. So there is hesitation here. There is a lack of commitment here. There is a feeling that you don't trust something here, Scorpio. Now, this is interesting because the King of Pentacles is Virgo energy and the Emperor is Aries energy. So in case those resonate for you. And the 7, 8, and 9, the 7 is Scorpio. This 7 is Scorpio. This 7 here. The 8 and 9 are Pisces energy. So there's a few signs here to consider if, don't take it too to heart, because we all have placements in so many places. But seeing that the 7 of Cups here is Scorpio energy, and it is what is top of mind for you. So it's almost like there's a fear. There's a fear that you feel that is causing you to maybe hesitate when it comes to moving on from something. And it feels like there's this focus here on not fully committing to something, so for some of you there may have been something in the commitment. For others of you, it may have come down to trust, that there was a fundamental trust was broken, and it almost feels like now you don't trust yourself to commit to this person any longer, or you don't trust them. You don't trust that you can commit to them, because I feel like there's something happening in it almost feels like a relationship here, Scorpio, that something has happened to create a need to move away from each other. And it could be a lack of commitment, it could be a lack of trust, it could be that someone did something to shift the energy in the relationship, and now it doesn't feel stable anymore. And it feels like it's all up in the air. Bottom of the deck, we see the Devil. So something happened here to bring out or bring to the surface something that may have been hidden, and something that may have been disguised as commitment and trust, but actually it has been revealed to be neither of those two things. And so that could be why you're being guided here to move away from something and seek out a beginning elsewhere, to find new beginning, a new pathway somewhere far, far away from this situation. And it's interesting, it almost feels like it's challenging a big part of your unconscious self to sort of release a situation that may not have been serving you, but that you felt really, really held by, and really almost sort of gripped, in the grips of a situation. Let's have a look at the past energy. 10 of Swords, yeah. So there was a very painful ending in the past, the recent past, the distance past. It felt like very sudden, very painful, very much a situation that, like we were just saying, could have really revealed a lack of commitment and a lack of trust. And that was somehow broken and led to a very painful ending here in the past. And now moving into the current energy, it's almost like, will you walk away? Will you be able to walk away from this? Now that you see what you see, now that you've experienced what you've experienced, will you still be blocked by fear, or will you feel confident moving ahead into a new direction? Let's have a look at the future energy. Upcoming energy, 5 of Swords, which is a time of really not feeling understood, really feeling like communication is falling on deaf ears. The 5 of Swords can be a time where there's no winners. Everyone is sort of battling it out through communication and not getting anywhere. Neither side feels understood, neither side feels recognized, and it's very difficult to almost find any grounding in the 5 of Swords, because it's really a time where there's conflict, and somewhere there's an unfair advantage, and somewhere there's loss, and it's almost like there's a hollow victory here. I feel like there's no victory. It almost feels like both sides have lost, and that right now this conflict is almost feels like it's trying to teach you to move ahead and to let go. to see things for what they really are here, and then to initiate a period of healing. We see that here in the Star card. It is in reverse, so this makes me feel like Scorpio is starting to lose faith that there will ever be a peaceful moment. But, you know, it does feel like the worst is over. I know I've said that a lot for Scorpio lately, because this Ten of Swords shows up consistently in the last few readings for Scorpio. So it does feel like the worst of this is over, but moving forward, it feels like if you don't let go, there will be more conflict, and there will be more arguing and more miscommunications, misunderstandings, and sort of, again, feeling blocked by fear and feeling like there's just this need to get as far away from this as possible. You know, it's a very interesting energy as the reader that I'm picking up on. It really feels like a very difficult situation that needs closure as soon as possible, you know, and to move away from it, Let's see here. How does Scorpio see themselves right now? How does Scorpio see themselves right now? High Priestess in reverse. So that's an interesting energy for you, Scorpio. It makes me feel, look, the Star card is still on the bottom of the deck. Seeing the High Priestess in reverse, seeing the Emperor in reverse, it's very interesting actually, because the High Priestess in reverse can be a time where there's secrets being kept, or mistruths, you know, like not telling the whole truth, maybe just to yourself or maybe to others, maybe feeling like, you know, you're not listening to your inner voice that's trying to guide you right now. And seeing the Emperor in reverse sort of gives me the same kind of feeling, in the sense of there's this sort of underlying situation that feels like someone's trying to control something, and it's like you're just being guided to move away from this, Scorpio, because I feel like seeing the Five of Swords makes me feel that there is an unfair advantage here, and seeing the High Priestess as, you know, your energy but in the reverse position feels like this situation needs 100% honesty, you know, and you might be feeling right now that there is something sort of that you need to pay attention to within you, that's guiding you within. And it's almost like there's this important message coming from your higher self, trying to guide you towards something that is really revealing. And you're really being guided to pay attention to what's going on within. Because if there is sort of this narrative that's sort of happening within yourself that you're not paying attention to, it feels like you could find yourself in the throes of this situation for longer than is necessary. Do you know what I mean? Let's see, how do other people see Scorpio right now? How are other people perceiving Scorpio right now? Okay, we've got a bunch of cards here. Let's have a look. Oh boy, so we've got the Nine of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Tower. So other people are seeing you as sort of, you know, without exaggerating, that you're in a situation that could be considered a nightmare. But really, what's it doing? It's showing you so much truth. It's revealing to you so many things that may change your life significantly, Scorpio. And it feels like other people are sort of seeing you as someone who needs to come into recovery and into rest, to bring your mind into rest, because it feels like right now everything is coming down around you. And that Nine of Swords is a very strong message of sort of trusting that you can see your fear and your pessimism as sort of an illusion, you know? And even though there are some significant life changes happening around you that I can see in the Tower, there is this idea of needing to to flip your perspective and to send sort of more nurturing and loving thoughts to yourself right now, as opposed to disturbing and overwhelming thoughts, which is what that 4 is saying to me. So seeing this, the 9 and the 4 is an interesting sort of paradox of being in a situation that feels like a nightmare, but it's almost like the guidance is bring yourself out of that place that says this is the worst thing imaginable, and instead allow yourself to slow down that negative spiral that could be looping out of control right now, leading to a lot of anxiety and stress, where, you know, if you can somehow offer yourself more nurturing messages and to focus on the light at the end of the tunnel and to focus on what this situation is trying to teach you, instead of how frightening it is and how painful it is and how it feels like a nightmare, that you might be able to sort of weather this storm in a way that allows you to see the rainbow at the end of the storm. You know what I mean? I know that analogy at this time may be feeling a little bit cliched, but I feel like that's the guidance here. The guidance here is to focus on more nurturing messages, and to get distance from the thoughts that are maybe causing you to feel like this nightmare is never going to end. And seeing the 6 of Swords in reverse makes me feel like there's almost a hesitation to do that. That there's a part of you that can't help but focus on how painful this experience is. Now, let's see hopes and fears here for Scorpio. We see the Hierophant. So it's interesting. It feels like the hopes and fears sort of revolve around, you know, it's interesting because the High Priestess in reverse sort of gives me this indication of something being hidden. And then seeing the Hierophant in the hopes and fears says that it will come to light, and that everything will be revealed, and that you will understand everything. And you may want that, but you may also fear that. You know, you may be done, you don't want to know any more about this situation. But it almost feels like anything that was not revealed in the High Priestess here in reverse will come out in the Hierophant as a hope or a fear for you. It's interesting. It feels like there will be sort of, the truth will come out, and it could show that there was a misaligned energy moving this whole time with the Lovers in reverse at the bottom of the deck, which makes me feel like at the end of this, Scorpio, at least you know the truth. At least now you know, right? As maybe that doesn't make you feel very reassured, but maybe it will down the line. When you look back at this and you'll say, well, that experience taught me the truth about the situation I was in. And was it painful? Absolutely. Did it create a lot of fear for me? For sure. Did I lose trust? Did I feel like a commitment was broken and that things were hidden from me? Yeah. But did you ultimately feel set free from something that was out of balance? I feel yes. Let's look and see, what will the potential outcome here be for Scorpio? Let's see, potential outcome here for Scorpio. 3 of Hearts, 3 of Swords. Sorry, I was focusing on the heart in reverse. So this is a necessary separation. It was necessary. It had to end. It had to end. And seeing that 3 of Swords in reverse tells me that there may be a difficulty accepting this separation, and there may be a difficulty seeing the part that was played by both sides, right? And that may be part of the healing here, is to see both sides of this, to understand that if it didn't serve the other person, it didn't serve you either. And that may be a way for you to release any grief or sadness around this situation feeling like a really painful separation or loss, and that the healing could come from seeing both sides of this, right? Instead of focusing just on one side. And then the possibility of rebuilding down the line in a new connection begins, right? The Three of Pentacles is a time where we start to work with others again and consider trusting again and start to assess where the foundation needs fixing and where things need restoration and realignment. It's the beginning again, it's going from the Three of Swords to the Three of Pentacles, where there's something painful that we have to accept in order to rebuild, right? Now, to close this reading for Scorpio, let's see, what does Scorpio need to be surrendering to or to surrender? What does Scorpio need to surrender or surrender to as a part of the healing, or as it's the highest guidance for Scorpio at this time? Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Very interesting. So it says here, listen to your body's messages about a person or a situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you feel energized and happy, move forward. So that's a very interesting message, because it does feel like this reading could be about a specific person, a specific situation where, you may need to also sort of surrender your ego and sort of jump into the wisdom of your body here and really try to sort out the messages coming to you from your body about this situation. I'm almost feeling like there's a need to really assess things from both sides of the situation and then trust the wisdom of your body. If your body is sort of communicating to you, I'm drained and uncomfortable, then it may be time for you to have a rest, right? That you may be pushing too hard. You may be trying to control something that's out of your control. And if you're starting to feel energized, to allow that to shift some of this energy for you, to help you see that not only is this situation going to pass, but it may have been very necessary in order to see the truth about something. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope it's been helpful, and I'm sending you so much love and encouragement. Take care, my friends.